You ready to rock and roll this, Jack?
Boom. What's up, boys and girls? It's another night of K&E Hour. There's our notification right there.
We are. We're on.
I'm E.
I'm K.
And hit that subscribe button. We're K&E, boys. Hit that subscribe button.
Hit the little bell next to it so you never miss when we're coming on live.
Come on here. Let's have a few beers, have a little laughs. A few laughs, and we'll talk about everything screwed up in America.
Or what we screwed up in America.
We do screw some things up. We're going to talk now a little bit more about the Bud Light situation going on out there.
Because that just will not go away.
Will not. We're going to talk a little bit about how the rednecks are kind of going to get screwed up out here.
Right.
So we ain't going to have that. We're going to talk a little bit about some marital issues. Only the funny problems. We're going to talk a little bit about some showing up at your concerts because that stuff needs to happen. You got to get paid for those.
Hey, Junior.
And we're going to talk about some stuff going on across the pond.
All right. Sounds like we got a show lined out, E.
Or some peeing going on records, and we're going to look into that.
All right. There's your teaser. Hang around to the end for that one.
That's when you need to have that 5-second commercial. Like, yeah, we're going to have a commercial.
Right. Ed gives the tease, and then you go to the commercial.
Right.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, how's your day going?
My day could not possibly be any better.
How's your anal leakage?
It's getting better every day.
When it dries up, it's going to itch. So clean that out.
And the next question, why do I sit here with you?
I have no idea. But anyways, Bud Light, man, still messing up.
Will not go away.
Effing up America.
Right.
What would I say? I wouldn't say necessarily the CEO, the VP of marketing.
Right.
Vice
President.
Yeah, what's it? Alyssa Heinerscheid, Wienershed, whatever, something.
Wiener Schnitzel.
Yeah, she's vice president. They've asked her to step down for a leave of absence.
Right. You're not fired, but just going to take a little short vacation.
Yeah, you really amped up.
Till people forget what you did.
Yeah. And they've also sat down a guy named Daniel Blake, who's like the overseer of all the brands, I guess, that are, of all the Budweiser brands and different marketing sections and this and that. Well, they're both sat down.
Right.
They're both like the main dude's like, hey, you effed up.
Right.
You really stuck it in us this time, man.
Did you ever imagine they thought it would blow up like it did?
I know.
This is 3 weeks in a row that we've been on here talking about Bud Light.
Absolutely.
Normally by now somebody else has messed up and we're on to different subjects, but they could not possibly have imagined how bad this was going to blow up in their face.
I mean, they thought they was just going to do it LGBT 2.08996 or whatever it is, but no, they put the wrong little spokesperson out there, and it blew up and shit all over them.
It's been 3 weeks, and I mean, go on Twitter. What do you see? All Bud Light stuff. You go on Facebook, it's all Bud Light. You go on YouTube, it's all Bud Light.
Right.
But now, think about it this way. This might have been the smartest thing they've ever done.
Well, I mean, it could have. I thought that too.
Yeah, because for 3 weeks, ain't nobody talked about nothing except Bud Light.
That's true. You got a point there. I'm going to cheers you on that one. That's a good point. But, their sales are still down another 17% this week.
Right.
So they're still losing money. They upped their prices. And, of course, everybody knows since they're not getting bought as much, so they had to raise their prices.
Right.
Well, everybody else raised their prices. Like, well, we're getting bought, so we're going to match you.
Hey, we're going to make even more money. Yeah. We're going to double down on this.
Yeah, it's just but have you seen that chick, the vice president of marketing?
I can't say as I have. I've seen a lot of parodies of her, dudes with beards down to here being, I'm vice president of.
Well, she's like a Jim Carrey scarecrow looking thing, but a female version.
Yeah.
She's hideous to look at, but she was like, her marketing strategy was to, and here's what got me, because her video of her marketing strategy said, we wanted to hit the younger people out there and get sales from the younger people. How young are we talking?
Right.
It just
this whole 21-year-old thing is really starting to bother them. We're gonna see how many more 17-year-olds we can get in here buying.
But I think they were trying to hit I want to say they was hitting like the 25 to 30 market, because those old bastards.
Right, the ones who actually buy their product.
Right, because you get off at the end of the day, it's time for a cold beer. You want to have a joke, a smoke, and a bud.
That's right.
I'm not telling you what's in these because we're mad.
But you hit it right. Everybody wants a joke, a smoke, and a bud. Now, there may be two different kinds of buds, but everybody wants a bud.
Yeah. You know what I tell the other crews out there, smoke a bowl and watch the show.
That's right.
But yeah, she's trying to hit the younger crowd. And I thought that this Mulvaney kid, I thought that he was underage. So I was really wanting to see, but it turns out he's over 21.
Right, but at least in that one video, he identified as 13.
That's right.
So
he did. He was a little sicko.
If you identify as 13, are you really able to buy beer? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If we're identifying as a woman there, you're also identifying as a 13-year-old. So we should have identified some ID on this thing. Like, hey.
Yeah, I mean, we're required, or not required, but we're expected to, if this thing identifies as female, we're expected to call them by female pronouns.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if she identified as 13, then no beer for you, bitch.
So, bitch, what time is it? Kyle's got stuff to say. But yeah, I mean, where's that conflict at?
Right.
If she's identifying as a wine, we identify as a cop going, hey, you sold to a minor.
Right. I mean, but that doesn't fit the agenda.
Well, yeah, the agenda. The agendas are what are killing us.
Yeah.
I mean, the other ones, we know that they did the lesbians and the gays and their aspects of it. They throw the rainbows out there.
Right.
We're okay with that.
Yeah, that's the problem. All of that, we said, okay, you do you, boo.
Yeah, you do you. We've said it before.
Just us saying you do you, that's all right. You dress how you want to dress ain't enough.
Right.
Now we have to, no, you're not coming into our side. You're not joining us.
Right. Well, see, just doing that, the beer companies were okay.
Yeah.
Hell, they were doing it. And I didn't even realize they was doing it, but there wasn't no rainbows on the cans.
Right.
Nothing like that. Nobody was saying, hey, this lady feller over here is like dressing up and they're happy about being a.
Yeah. We used to watch Will and Grace all the time. I never cared that the two dudes were gay. They was funny.
They were hilarious. Jack 2.1 or 2.0.
Jack 2.0.
That was a funny little queer. You know what it was. But anyways, it made me laugh. But anyway, the thing I'm getting at is that it was the lesbian, gays, and bisexuals and stuff like that.
And everybody was okay.
Yeah. I still don't know what the Q is.
I don't know.
Qualifier? I don't know. But
maybe that's when you're still trying to become one of the other things. Like you said, you got to qualify first.
Yes.
Right.
I think you got to win a swim meet.
Okay.
But
so that one dude, he passed.
He passed, but he's still gayish.
Right.
But anyways, I'm gonna go a little darker here. But that goes into that whole thing. We were, even though the other things were happening, the LGBTQ and all that stuff was happening, we were okay with it because, these two women were doing this, these two dudes were doing that. We was okay with it. They weren't throwing it up on us and stuff like that. Hey, look at me, look at me.
Right.
And we weren't saying, hey, look at us, because we're heterosexual.
Right.
Yeah, we know words. But this other thing is getting completely out of hand. The whole, we did the show about they got the butt babies out there. They're swearing up and down that they can have children. You cannot.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot. There's parts that are missing that will never be in that battery pack. It's not going to happen. If you want to put your innies in what used to be an innie, there's no. If you're putting willies to willies and wonkies to wonkies, no, it's not happening. And this is what's got the rednecks all upset, which I shouldn't say the rednecks. We're good Southern job holding, hardworking American.
Well, America was built on rednecks.
recognize.
We're the ones who actually pay the checks, or for all these non-working people that want to just collect a check and say, "Call me a woman," even though I haven't shaved in 4 days.
Right.
We're the ones paying so you can get your check.
Right. And Budweiser thought that they was going to support this chick thing.
Right.
And evidently, that chick thought that there was evidently more of them than there was hardworking Southern class Americans out there. And that's when the uprising came. America's gone through some stuff, but we weren't pissed off. You screwed with our beer, man. You put a chick on it, and you started praising the transgender thing and throwing it down our throat. And the rednecks of America said no.
It's like I said last week, and I stand behind it. Know your customers. Now, had White Claw sent this chick, dude, whatever, had White Claw sent a can out with their picture on it, nobody would have noticed.
Nobody would
have cared. The people who drink White Claw would have been running around going, "Oh, baby, did you see my can?"
We'd have been sitting over
nobody,
going queer.
Nobody would have cared. Know your damn customers.
Yeah.
But I saw a deal the other day. I don't know what platform it was on, but they was talking about all this, and they was talking about the drag shows and all that, and I thought they summed it up perfectly. We didn't care if you wanted to wear a dress. We didn't care if you wanted to put on a show. We didn't care if you wanted to, have your get-togethers and all that. Until you involved our children.
Yeah.
And that's when America stood up and said no. When you wanted to do these shows to the children.
Yeah.
Well, just add it to it. Nobody said anything. Nobody cared till you involved our children, and then you involved our beer. Now you have rifled America.
You have upset us.
You have upset America when you mess with our beer. Know your damn audience, and I see it there. I just ain't got to it yet. I was on my soapbox.
What's up, Dapper the Rapper?
Hey, we appreciate you coming in again tonight. That's twice.
We're a little dark, but we're going to get back to some funny stuff. Hang in there, brother. Just keep loving the show, brother. But yeah, we're up in arms about this because it's America. You screw with our beer and this and that. But the drag queen thing, they had their lifestyle for a long time there. And you go down to the clubs and stuff like that, and you be like, all right, well, that's where the drag queens hang out. We're not going in there. But they still had their stuff going on. All their equipment was still intact and all this stuff. And they were open about it. Hey, they say, hey, we just happen to be these kind of fellers that like to put the willies in the wonkies.
Once again, we didn't care. I didn't care.
Yeah, so much probably whipped my ass.
Yes.
There's some big dudes out there dressing up in the stuff. We've seen some shows, man. We're educated.
I
watched Will and Grace.
I've always done electrical work and refrigeration work my whole life. So I was living in Texarkana. There's a place called the Pines Country Club.
The Pines Country Club.
Yep. Did that help the story in any way?
It's our show, not just yours. I will ad lib when I want to.
But they call me out one night and they say, hey, we're having some electrical issues here, and we got some lights not coming on. We need you now because we have a show starting.
Right.
Well, they all the time had country entertainers and they had big names,
Yeah.
So I'm going out there. I'm thinking, not only will I go fix your electricity, I'm going to hang around and watch some of the show, Because like I said, it could have been George Strait. It could have been, they had the biggest names. This place was huge.
Oh, yeah.
I know. So I thought, well, I'm going to hang around and watch some of the show. Well, that didn't work out for me because that night they had the Chippendale dances.
Oh, my
goodness. It was ladies only, but
and those dudes are not the straight guys.
But to get to your point, though, I'm standing there, I'm fixing this light, and I'm looking at them people coming across that stage, and I'm thinking, they get a real bad rap because they're Chippendale dancers and all that. But I think every single one of them could whoop my ass. They was all muscled up, bodybuild looking dudes. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna fix my shit, get the hell out of here. I'm not gonna say nothing because I'm pretty sure any one of them could have whooped my ass.
What's up, Darren? Good to see you, buddy. Glad you stepped in.
Yeah, I threw you on screen. I was in the middle of a story,
but those Chippendales, man, I was dating a chick one time, and
I thought you was gonna say you was dating a Chippendale dancer.
Dating this girl one time, and
you could do worse.
That's my turn. Does that feel like any better?
Actually, I thought that was necessary.
I'm gonna give you that one. I'm gonna hit you later, but I'm gonna give you that one. I'm gonna thump you in the ear. But so she's sitting there telling me that hey, you know what to call you up, man. Some of my girlfriends got some tickets to go see the Chippendale dance. Right. Came to town. She's like, you okay with that? I'm like, hell yeah, get all excited, come back and see me.
That's right.
When she comes back, she's like, oh, these guys are so hot, they're this or that. So, they're queer, right? They're gay. And she's like, is that gonna make a difference later? I said, not me, girl.
Bit.
Let's go.
Hell no, baby. I don't care who winds you up as long as you come to me when it's over with.
You go watch the Chippendales, you go watch the show with The Rock in it. Right. You go watch who's the other guy that's in the Fast and Furious?
Vin Diesel.
You go watch all them boys you want to watch.
And then come home back to my house.
You picture anything you want to in your mind, because I damn sure.
Hell yeah, I don't care if everything's going good and I'm not sitting there worried. Well, are they thinking about Vin Diesel or are they thinking about The Rock? Hell no, because The Rock ain't here.
Who was a hot chick back in our day? Who was the crowd favorite? Who was the
Raquel Welch when we was little?
Yeah, little.
Well, I mean, I say that shit. She was hot till she was 60.
Oh yeah, Raquel was that bitch. I mean, you guys need to look that one up.
Demi Moore was always hot.
Yeah. Of course, we had like Lita Ford.
Oh shit, yeah.
So while y'all were getting on us, looking at the Rock, we were like, yeah, Lita. Kiss me once, kiss me twice.
Kiss me deadly, baby.
You just bring that hot, sexy ass over here and do your thing. Anyway, I digress.
We got real sidetracked here.
So anyway, Bud Light, you're messing up, man. You screwed up America. You screwed up the rednecks, and we're coming for you.
All right, before we start changing topics here, because I am really fed up with talking about Bud Light. I hope by week 4 or by the 4th week, somebody else will screw up so we can make fun of them.
Oh, I'm all for it, but I'm continuing on with the boycott. So there's an actual public apology on the TV, and I don't want to just say, hey, because Budweiser got this new commercial out. It's got the horse, like, oh, this American. Like, no, you effed up, man. I want the president of Budweiser not sitting at his desk with his suit on. I want him standing in front of it, sleeves rolled up, and I want him to look right in the camera and go, America, we effed up. We effed up real bad, and we're sorry. We're real damn sorry. We're going to roll over the price for 8 months.
I'll take it if they'll just put him on screen and then show that meme I see all the time from the Hangover movies where the dude's sitting there and it's like he's got his phone to his ear and it's like, man, we effed up.
That's what I was going at. Right. Man, we really effed up, man. And we are so sorry, America. Especially you Southern guys down there that are making America stay alive.
But anyway, I forgot to do something at the beginning of the show. So before we move on to the next topic, you know how to kill a serious moment, don't you?
I thought we was lining it up.
Before we move on to the next topic, do you mind if I bring up just one serious moment and then we'll move right along?
Let me get a beer.
All right, that's fine. Get me one while you're in there if you don't mind, sir. Thank you.
Cover that up. We don't want to know what we're drinking.
Right.
Because we're mad. It's mad. Okay. One serious moment.
One serious moment, and then we'll move forward. You've been telling me, you've been talking about it, and I want to know, Ed, Has them genital warts got any better for you at all? Or are they still bothering you?
I don't know, how's your anal warts?
I mean, we sent you down the prayer chain at the church, So, for those of y'all watching, say a little prayer for Ed's genital warts. They've really been bothering him lately.
Is this over the anal leakage?
It damn sure is.
I'm sorry, buddy. Let me cheers you. We get mad, but we still buds. Genital warts was a little too far. A little harsh. A little rough on the brother. I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to put that out
there. My bad. Not really.
I mean, my feelings are kind of toward it.
I guarantee you somebody right out there giggled.
Bastards.
All right, what's next?
You talk about, we was talking about, I had a funny thought.
Genital warts.
Well, I was talking about, messing up marriage. Anyway, I was talking about the chicks we thought of, girls going to watch the movies, getting excited over the guys.
Jones Jett.
And that's a bad bitch back in the day. She's still alive.
Yeah.
That's a bad bitch. But we happened to say that segment. My Kyle's wife walked in and sat down there and smoked and left. So it brings me to a thought about, marital problems.
Okay.
You can have marital problems in a marriage and it still be kind of funny. So I don't know why that's popping up all of a sudden.
I don't know either. I hit the wrong button. My bad.
My bad. That's not part of marital problems.
That's part of being on a live show.
Live show. Technical difficulty.
Right. But go ahead. Tell me about the marital problem.
Got this co-worker at work. She's going through some things. Bless her heart. We're there for her. We love her to death. We hope everything works out. But she's telling us stories at work that made me laugh so hard today. She was talking about her and her husband got into a little something last night. And she got to the point of they argued and were fussing around and this and that, and got to the point where he got a little bit scared for his safety. So he told her he was going to call the cops if she didn't calm it down.
Right.
And she says, well, you go ahead and you call the cops if you feel like you're not safe being around me.
Right.
Which was kind of funny. I think that's damn cool, actually. But
we're a comedy show, but we're sensitive.
We're assholes, but we're assholes that care.
That's right. But go ahead. Tell me about your woman.
So it's not my woman. We don't want to get that started up at work. She's going through problems. And if he ever happens to see us, don't want to hear that comment like that, they ain't doing nothing with her, man. It ain't happening. She's after another. Anyways.
All right. Moving forward.
Anyway,
she's
telling this stuff at work. She's talking about he's gotten a little scared. He called the cops. Well, the cops come out there. And the cops are sitting there talking to him. And she's only like 4 foot nothing, maybe 5 foot something. She's meaner than a snake when she's mad, especially when she's mad. So, because we've seen it. So she's sitting there talking about, he's scared this and that, and I'm going to whoop his ass and everything. Well, at some point, the cops felt like the guy was okay. And I don't know, you know how cops are. Do you feel safe here? Do you need to go somewhere else? Do you need to leave with us? Well, I guess those questions were answered, and he stayed there, and the cops decided to just leave. She said when them cops left that house, that she looked him down. All right, you had to call the cops because you didn't feel safe with the fucking cops gone. I slipped one out. The friggin' cops are gone. What's going to protect you now?
Right.
She's like, I was about to whoop his ass. So if you got married, we got the holler. If you're scared and the cops come, leave with them.
Right.
Don't sit there and tell your chick that you're scared for your life right now. You might get a butcher knife in the ribs. If you got to call the cops on your old lady because you think she's about to whoop your ass, and they show up, and your ass don't leave with them, it's your own damn fault if you get stabbed in the ribs.
And if they try to leave, slap the heck out of one of them cops. They'll cuff you and take you to jail where you're safe.
That's a little trick from the 70s.
That's right.
Because back in the 70s, cops would be like, hey, hey, I don't want to have to come out here again. You know?
Exactly. Yep.
That's back in the old days. I remember some that my mom and dad. A couple cops was actually the little deputy sheriff lived across the street. Like, hey, knock on the. Hey, you guys getting loud. Calm down, Ari. We're sorry, Toby. You know, we'll calm it down. Yeah, we just fighting. We just arguing.
When I was just a little kid, you know, I'm sitting at the house with my mom and dad, and we had just moved to Batesville, Arkansas. Well, we get a knock on the door. Well, we don't know anybody in that town, so
yeah,
you know, we don't know who the hell's going to be knocking on the door. But you know, back then you went and answered the door.
You did it anyway.
There stands this dude. I mean, his eyes are bleeding. His nose is busted open. They whooped him so bad he actually crapped himself.
Damn.
Them sitting there kicking him in the ribs and all of that, to the point that he crapped himself.
Yeah.
And so my dad grabs a hold of him, you know, gets him set down in a wooden chair, not in like, you know.
Don't screw up the upholstery.
Right. Don't get no crap on our upholstery.
You'll make us mad.
Yeah. And the cops, we call the cops and the ambulance and all that, and they show up. And the cops actually asked the dude, you know, because it was his ex-girlfriend's house right next door to us is where he went in. And they actually asked, you know, well, was you and her having problems? You know, he's like, well, she had 3 guys hiding behind the door to jump me when I walked in. I'm going to say, yeah, we had problems.
We had problems, God dang it.
Anyway, just a little
you go drink all the milk, throw the damn card away.
Just a little side story there. But yeah, I mean, the chick got mad at her boyfriend, invited him over to the house, and had 3 dudes hide behind the door to jump him when he came in.
That's a hoe. I'm sorry. That's a hoe right there. If you got 3 guys, and you talk 3 guys and come over to whoop someone, that's 3 guys that think they already got a shot with you.
Exactly.
So you've been playing the field a little bit. So that's not a woman you ever want to get with. And if you've had that kind of woman that says, hey, man, will you beat this guy? If you got one of them kind of women that don't only like you if you're fighting somebody,
right?
Get the hell away from her.
Get on out. Yeah.
I've been there. I think we can take down the national hotline thing.
All right. Well, I didn't know if we was done yet, so.
Well, we're not entirely done. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we talk about, this marital stuff. I mean, like we said, we're only going to talk about the fun parts. And we're going to talk about nothing rough.
No, I'm with you, but, you know,
But we did talk about a guy got shit beat out of him.
You know, just in case, if you're scared of your woman, you know, call the hotline.
But don't call the cops and then let them go. Because like the chick last night that was telling the story, as soon as they left, she's like, who's going to protect you now? You know, it's like, I'd have been scared.
Yeah.
I'd have just went ahead and packed my shit and say, look, you know, I'm just go. Things ain't working out. And I'd like to apologize for homesteading on your property all this time. It's just, but I like how it's still up there. Just in case people are watching.
It's still in the comments if you need it.
I mean, anyways, yeah, we covered back that Budweiser effing up. You know, we got the election coming up.
Yes, we do.
You know, we got
America's gonna be effing up.
Yeah, Trump's about to try to get back into it.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe Biden says he's going to try to run again. And
that's a joke.
I think it's a real good joke. I mean, you know, because last election, what happened? Joe Biden's crew was like, "Hey, look, you know, the elections are at this point. We're going to shut down the things and let some of the voting polls catch up to where they need to be." But then they never opened them back up.
Right.
So
but they amazingly found 800,000 votes only for Biden.
Right. I think some of my ancestors from the 1740s got some votes in there.
I think so.
I'm proud of them. You voted the wrong side.
Right. But back then, Democrat was the way to go.
Right.
Yeah,
yeah, that's back then. 1700s. But Trump's about to get back in there. And I want all you people out there that voted for Biden, I want you to sit down and reflect. I want you to reflect and look at stuff. You effed up. You messed it up. You just like Budweiser and that Mulvaney chick. I got problems. my soapbox has been sitting right here the whole night.
Right.
So I just keep leaping onto it. We'll be sitting there having a good laugh. You're like, soapbox moment. But anyways, I'm going to pull away from that because we ain't going to get all into them politics. But vote Trump. Anyways.
Hey, I refuse to talk politics on this show. I've told you before, I'm not going to talk politics on this show. So let's move on to another topic. Vote Trump.
But we called Stephen Van Zandt out like a son of a gun.
Well,
we still waiting on that little coward to come up.
Well, that was meant as a joke. I said all that so I could get the vote Trump in at the end of it.
Well, yeah.
And you almost cut me off. I almost didn't get it.
Almost went Ace Frehley there.
Yeah.
But that horrible laugh. But anyways, we have been talking about Budweiser. But Budweiser's really still kind of messing up because they, like I said earlier, they're still losing sales. People are going to concerts, okay? And there was video footage on Twitter about people being at the concerts. I guess there was a country singer named Morgan Wallen.
Gotcha.
He's an up and coming guy that everybody's real popular with right now. Well, they was out there and they got the tents out there for the different beer sections, you know. And it showed the video. They're like looking at the Coors and the Miller line. Lines are full. People are drinking beer. Let's have a good time. Here's my tickets. You know. And then they just shined over at the Budweiser thing like a single person.
Right.
Nobody. So they're not getting them at the concerts.
No. Which is better. I mean, as far as Bud Light, that's better than a lot of them because people like Travis Tritt and some of them are just not allowing it to even be sold at their concerts.
Yeah. Which I'm backing them, man. Travis Tritt comes down. I'm going to that just because he's standing up.
Well, I'd go see Travis Tritt anyway, and I'm not even a country fan. I'm a Poison fan. You know?
Poison rocks, man. Poison, yeah. You tougher than Bruce Lee. Well, yeah, Bruce Lee, but not Chuck Norris.
Right.
That's a national treasure. But anyways, at this same
Chuck
concert,
Norris and Bret Michaels, two national treasures.
Right. But anyway, I'll write me again, see what happens. But anyways, at this same concert of Morgan Wallen's, it turns out he had to cancel the concert. He didn't show up for the concert.
Did he drink all the Bud Light?
He may have. His innie may have been sucking back up. But he's in a big conflict right now because he's not showing up for concerts.
Right.
And evidently there's a lot of talk about him being the new possum.
Right.
You know, George Jones was bad about that. Yep. And they were saying what the ordeal was on that one was that he swore up and down that his vocal cords were messed up, so he had to cancel his concert. But there was a security group that was hired to watch the grounds, watch the stage, and protect all the this and that. The security, I forget the name of it. It was something home ground security or something like that. They were called in, but it was one of their guys evidently had a phone and tried to say that he was videoing the fact that that's not why he canceled the concert. He was trying to say he was drunk. So drunk that he couldn't perform.
Right.
And they...
By the way, I've been there. I was too drunk to perform one night. But I didn't have thousands of people there to watch, you know.
Just that one person. The biggest fan you ever had. It's like, fine.
At that moment.
We'll go watch Will and Grace. Because that's funny. But anyways, this guy, I kind of feel like we need to do a shout out to him. And Morgan Wallen.
Well, give him a shout out.
Shout to Morgan Wallen. Morgan Wallen, yeah. But, you know, if you go do a concert, you got to show up to them things, man, because they...
We don't work off of notes. This is Morgan Wallen.
Let me see here. Morgan Wallen did not show up for his thing.
But no, I mean, if he actually had vocal troubles and then this security group starts running their mouth, then yeah, that's bad on him. I mean,
right.
You know, or it's their bad, but it looks bad on him.
Right. But see, that's what all the craze is because this happened like Sunday night. He didn't do this Sunday. He canceled his contract. But this security guard went out all over the place, posting on Twitter and this and that. Yeah, I got video footage and this and that of The reason he couldn't do it is because he was falling down drunk and this and that. So the security company got involved with Morgan Wallen because Morgan Wallen's people got in touch with them. It's like, hey, you boys are starting some trouble out there. And this boy works for you and we hired you. So we're putting it out right now. The real story that went down was all a lie. The dude actually had some vocal problems.
Right.
They did use an ambulance to get him out of there because, you know, he's a concert guy or a singer. So he doesn't have a private vehicle. So they call him in. They check him out and so let's run you on down here to the doctor's hospital and get your throat worked up and see what's going on. We don't want you freezing up or you can't ever talk again.
Yeah.
Because that vocal thing is a real issue.
Well, it's actually pretty common with artists. So, I mean, you know.
Yeah, I mean, they had to shut down for like several months with like barely talking to get their stuff.
Yeah, you hear of it all the time. I mean, you know, somebody else, I can't remember who it was, but somebody just last week had to cancel a show. Same thing. I mean, but they actually got out on the stage.
Yeah.
And was like, you know, they tried all day long.
Yeah.
They did everything they could. And they actually got to the stage and was like, I can't sing.
Yeah.
You know, and they had to, you know, refund all their money and all that. But now on what you're talking with the security guard, right back to the Pines Country Club in Texarkana.
That's a bad place. Don't go there.
No, it's a great place. Go there.
Go there.
Shout out to the Pines. I don't think it's called the Pines anymore. But I was out there one night. Once again, I was working. The building had just burned, and we had done the electrical and AC to get it all put back together. And we was out there for a Hank Williams Jr. concert.
Hank Williams.
Oh, yeah, love me some Hank Jr. But the whole reason I gave all that build up is, you know, I was working right up to the point of the concert.
Right.
So I had the ability to walk around. I was all backstage and everything else. Now, I never actually met Hank Jr., but I watched like 4 of his bandmates drag him to the bus.
Uh-huh.
You know, this was no vocal problem. This was no stomach flu.
Yeah.
This was a guy sitting in the back room with Jim Beam till he could no longer stand up on his own. And so his band came out and performed all night long. They did the entire show, but the only glimpse I ever got of Hank Jr. was them trying to drag his ass into the bus. You know.
Well, you know, you talk about, you know, people being drunk. The world's greatest, the most famous for being drunk on stage was George Jones.
I was going to say the possum, yeah.
But the bad thing about George was a tough old nut. Did you know he was actually in the Marine Corps?
I did know that.
He was actually in the Marine Corps. And there's a video out there, and I hope y'all look it up sometime. I was trying to find the footage for him getting pulled over on his little lawnmower. And that's one you just can't hardly get a hold to.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. We're going to talk about that in a second. But while I was trying to find this footage of him actually getting pulled over on the lawnmower, because I thought it was world famous, because in that footage of him on his little John Deere riding lawnmower, he's on the cops pull him over. Mm-hmm. And the cop gets out of his car and he walks straight up to George Jones like he's done it 100 times. He's like, George, you're drunk. George on that lower there. No, sir. No, sir, I am not.
No, George, you're drunk.
George, you ain't allowed to drink and drive. Your license been taken. He says, I was mowing my yard. My yard goes right up to this dang basement right here. And I'm going all the way down to the store. And he's like, no, sir, I'm not driving drunk. But anyways, it's a hilarious thing. But while I was trying to find that, there was actually footage of George Jones actually being pulled over in his Cadillac.
Right.
So he was on the road. But at this time, George is like 45 years old, but still a swinger. You know, he's still guns. And this cop is talking to him, you know, and he's telling this cop, he's like, did you bring them along? Because the camera crew showed up. Yeah. You know, and this is like the paparazzi. But back that day, they was carrying little cameras around, video foot and everything. And George Jones is sitting there looking at that cop like, that cop's like, George, you're going to have to talk to me. And then George's like, yeah, I'll talk to you. I'm about to whoop that boy's ass right now. And he's just sitting there, he's like trying to get in. Like, and it's like, the cop had to hold, like restrain him. He's like, push him back. George is like, holding his chest up, pushing the cop back. And the cop's like, George, I know you fought in the Marines and stuff like that. Don't be using that Marine stuff. This was on footage, man. It was intense. But I was loving every bit of it. But George Jones is my hero as far as country music singers go.
Right.
Because he stood his ground when he got drunk. Like, yes, sir. No, sir. My yard goes right onto this and paper right here.
Yeah, but if you think about it, and I'm changing gears here a little bit, in George Jones' hometown, he's just George.
Yeah.
Like, who's the dude that's so famous that came out of here? They named street after him at the fairgrounds.
Out here?
Yeah.
That Musgrove?
No, had the cute daughter, worked at the Thomas's years ago.
What's it? Oh, yeah, long time ago.
Okay, yeah, I've killed the show here. I'm sorry.
Gene.
Yeah.
What's his name?
We will circle back to this because I have just completely killed the show here by trying to bring that up. But anyway, I mean, that's how it is here. He can come do a show in Paris, and a couple hundred people show up and watch him.
Yeah.
But he goes off and does one in Alabama or California, and there's thousands of people there to see him because he's so famous.
Right.
Tracy Lawrence in Wake Village.
Yeah.
I used to work there all the time, Tracy was in yesterday. He ate at the restaurant, I mean, nobody bothers them. Nobody, they're just, in George's hometown, George is just George, Well,
Watson.
Gene Watson.
Yeah.
But
what kills me is the fact I remember Mom talking about him when they was younger.
Yeah.
The fact that all the kids would get out there and horse around on the streets, walk around on the streets and stuff, but Gene could never come out and play because he's always inside playing his guitar.
Right. Appreciate you, Eric.
Thanks, Eric.
If I'd have bothered to look at the screen, we'd have got that a whole lot sooner than we did.
But move back. I was actually thinking about something up in Tennessee one time when I was up there. I went across into Kentucky, into Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
And in Bowling Green, Kentucky, there's a place where Hank Jr. has a recording studio.
Right.
And me and some boys went across there because we was going to a titty bar.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We're good with that.
We was checking something out. We was up there. Was like, hey, there's nothing to do over here. And I said, right over the border over here is a titty bar. So, titty bar sounds good. So we went over. We stopped at a store and got some beer. And because it was one of them bring your own beer kind of spots.
So it was probably, if it's bring your own booze, it was probably not a titty bar. It was probably a full nude bar.
Maybe. But anyways, Kentucky.
Because that's how the rules work on the full nude. You can't sell alcohol. But I mean, I heard that somewhere.
It's probably a titty bar called Cousins.
Right. But like I said, I just heard that somewhere.
But while we was there at the store, swear to God, Hank Jr. walked in there.
Yeah.
Got him some beer and just talking to everybody just going by. And we're sitting there like, is that fucking Hank Sr. Jr. or Hank Williams Jr.? And they was like, yeah, this and that. But he was sitting there talking to everybody. He got him a 12-pack or some kind of beer. But he sat right there at the counter, opened the beer, and started drinking.
Yeah.
I will see y'all. He never paid for it. He just got the beer and he just left. And we're sitting there looking at him, and the guy behind the counter's like, yeah, that was him. He just comes in there and gets beer all the time. It's like, did he pay for it? He's like, he never pays for it. His manager comes down here so often pays us some money.
What's that? Well, it was probably like us. Remember when, Thomas's, because, we're such good friends with Eddie.
Yeah.
We'd go in there and I'd fill my truck up with gas, and then Eddie would come out and start talking to us. And before you know it, I'd just get in the truck and drive off. And so next time we was in there, they'd be like, hey, I know you just got $20 worth of gas now, but you still owe us $25 from last week. I'm like, all right, well, shit, I'll pay, But
we're real sorry.
We get in there, get to talking to E.T., and I mean, just, I get in the truck, drive off.
I don't know how many Cokes I walked out there with.
Yeah.
We'll see you later, Eddie.
And he never cared because he knew, well, they'll be back,
We'd always give him a good deal when we fix his AC stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Which is nothing.
But
they have our moments.
At least they never called the cops on us or anything like that.
So let's it was good times. But so should we go to the problems across the pond?
If so, if you'd like, because we have just about run an hour out on this show. But I've got it set up right here, as everybody knows, because I accidentally clicked on it earlier. That is not it.
It's not it, Cal.
All right, we have got there. Praise Kyle, the show is done.
This is what's happening across the pond. Now, I said across the pond, which usually means England, but just, Australia is pretty much England owned.
Well, hold on.
What?
Let's back this up. I do not think Australia is across the pond.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give you this one, though. It's our damn show, and if we want it to be across the pond, it's across the pond.
It's across the pond, damn it. We're mad.
No, I'm not mad. I'm actually very happy. Yeah, I'm getting these out the frozen part. So.
But that's good. That's nice and cold. I'm gonna get that for you.
Well, thank you.
Shall I lead up to it, or do you want to take it?
No, go on. Take off.
So we got this sent to us by one of our viewers. This topic comes to us from a viewer, and his name is David Loff out of Paris, Texas. And he sent this to us. He thought it was funny. We took a look. We thought it was funny too.
Okay.
Australia. A band over there called Private Function is releasing vinyl records filled with urine.
Brings a whole new definition to LP.
Yeah. I like that. These Australians, man, they are working way down under. Tell us what this thing's about, Kyle.
Well, you've pretty much covered the basis of it. They did a video. They showed all 4 guys come out with what looked like a urine sample in their hand. They're actually going to build this into the record.
Yeah.
So the record, if you took the record and broke it in half, there would actually be urine come out of the record.
It is infused in the record.
What I got out of this is apparently each band member, gets their own, and this is what they're calling their gold record.
Yeah, this is their gold record.
But I don't know any of the band members' names, but apparently you can buy this guy's gold record or this guy's gold record, depending on whose urine you'd like to have. Well, I don't give a flying shit if it was. It could be Kiss, it could be Poison. I don't want the urine. That's so I'm going to pass on that. But they're only doing 50 of the albums.
Oh yeah,
and somebody will correct me because I'll be wrong, but I think the starting price on one of these albums is $2,500.
Oh,
yeah.
So they must be a pretty big group over there,
right? $2,500, you can buy a record filled with somebody's piss.
Yeah, I mean, what's happening over there, man? What's happening to music today?
Well, there was another part of the article.
Here it comes.
I kind of got to admit, it got to me a little bit. It said that they're up, or not, nobody's upset, but the people writing the article just wanted to point out that they're doing this, but in South Australia, it's illegal. So they cannot sell these albums in Southern Australia.
Oh, okay.
That leads me to a question.
What is this question, my boy Kyle?
Who in the hell else ever decided we're going to put piss inside of an album and sell it to the point that Southern Australia decided we need to make a law about this? I mean, you got to look at the bigger scheme. Somebody apparently in the past has decided we're going to fill our album with piss. What the hell's going on in Australia?
I'm telling you, the land down under It's messed up down there, man.
Yes.
The island itself was only created because England made it a penal colony. And by penal meaning prison,
right?
Not something else you might be thinking. So
Which,
that thing had so many.
I'd like to stop you right there.
We're stopping for a second.
No, we're stopping for more than a second because that was the perfect lead-in. Let me put my old man glasses on. Light me up a cigarette. That was the perfect lead-in to tonight's top 10 list.
Oh my goodness. Kyle's weird news top 10 list. We're done talking. I would like to put out, though, that Private Function did request that if you buy their album, please do not break it open and steal their DNA and create crime.
Right. All right. Now, their for this is the top 10 countries with the shortest average penis size. See how you led me right into that?
I do not see how that led into that. Except for, I guess you pee out your penis.
But, well, no, you was talking about penile.
Oh, penile.
But
I said penal.
Whatever. But I'm changing the name of this because that's not a top 10 list if it's the shortest average.
So it's just the top 10 countries.
I'm calling this the top 10 list of countries that women do not want to move to. Yeah.
I can see that. All right. For sexual pleasure.
Right.
Okay.
So number 10, Philippines.
The Philippines.
4.3 inches is the average penis size in the Philippines.
Okay.
And we're not going up the whole damn list because we don't care. But if you get to number
boys
one,
in Thailand are looking slow.
The guys in Thailand average 3.7 inches.
Okay.
You know, I personally, the only comment I have about that is I'd like to move to Thailand because I'd be freaking king in Thailand. You know,
I'd be rocking in Thailand.
I mean, if Paris, Texas, maybe not, but put me in Thailand, and dude, I am the king in Thailand.
Okay,
but we move up a little, and it's with the longest average.
Okay.
Cameroon, I assume 6.6.
All right.
You know, not horrible.
And from what I understand, watching all the shows out there in the world, that's where women like to cut it off because anything over that they say just nothing but pain.
And if you want the biggest, you go to Sudan, which is South Africa. Yeah. I ain't gonna get into no racial shit or nothing like that, but I mean, I get it. You know,
that comment alone got us into a racial issue. We're picking up what you're putting down out there, Sudan.
Well, I used to play with an all-black softball team. They kicked me off because
I thought you were supposed to say you played with something else. Then I got a little scared.
Nah, I used to play on an all-black softball team. They kicked me off when they found out I had the biggest pecker. But if you look at this list and then you look at the one we just looked at, do you notice a country that is not even represented on here?
America?
America couldn't make it in the biggest or the smallest, you know, which I call bullshit on because I watch me some Pornhub occasionally. And, you know, I think we could have at least got in at the 6.6 at the bottom here, you know.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Well, we should have been somewhere.
All right. Well, that's where you move on down the article here a ways. Okay. We come in.
There's more.
There's more.
But wait, there's more.
You have to get to the whole list. Thailand is way up here.
And that's the shortest, right?
No, Thailand is the biggest.
Oh, Thailand was the shortest.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. In centimeters. That's all right. You move all the way to the bottom. Montenegro, 13.56. which is going to equal out to somewhere around 6.5 inches. America comes in.
But we're not looking at notes or nothing.
America comes in at 13.12.
What's that come to?
That comes out to 5.5 inches. I call bullshit. But anyway, that was a little different of a top 10 than what we're used to, but I at least wanted to throw it out there.
He watches some weird shit, folks. I don't know where he goes to in these areas.
Well, the thing is, though, we now have everybody watching this video either feels really good about themselves or feels really bad about themselves.
And you could thank Mr. Kyle for that.
Because if you have over 5.5 inches, you are above average.
America.
And
I don't know where to go from this.
I think I know exactly where to go from this, brother. Been a great show. I had a lot of fun tonight. Let's get the hell out of here.
We'll go find you something better. Where did you get this shit?
We never did get to Carlson Tucker.
We're going to talk about Carlson Tucker next week.